Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Leap of Faith. So, some of you know me, and some of you know that I am a spiritual reverend. So, I thought that every Sunday morning I would come on for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and really just share some bite sized aha pieces. Being a spiritual reverend does not mean that I am speaking about any particular religion, because I'm not. It's non-denominational. It's really about us as humanity. And if I can share a few bite-sized aha moments with you, then that's great, and something that you can integrate into your life as we move into this new earth, because a lot of you can see that we're moving into a new time, and that's going to continue over the next couple of years, probably into 2027. So as far as 2020-30, before we really kind of settle in. So we're going through a huge leap right now, a really big change in ourselves as humanity. So, all the support that I and people like myself can offer is our way to contribute. So I'm the visionary of a conscious community that's free for everyone who wants to join, called the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery. And we also call that lovingly IAUSM. So, so please, feel free to come on in. Hey, Joyanne, how are you? So today we're just going to have a quick chat about the gift of fear and how to use fear rather than letting it stop you in your tracks, because that's usually what happens, right? Fear stops us in our tracks. And I thought the best way to talk about this today was to tell you about a dream I had a couple of days ago, because that's really what inspired this particular topic today. So I had a dream a couple of nights ago, and I was walking down this street, and for some reason I had a sense that I was some sort of professional. I'm thinking lawyer, don't know why, just that's kind of what came to me. And so I'm walking to work, and somehow while I'm walking to work, I am conscious of the fact that previously I had had a conversation with a young man and his two friends. And I really can't remember what we talked about. I have no idea, but I had a feeling that it was a pleasant conversation. So I'm kind of on my way to work after this pleasant conversation. And as I'm walking, one of the young men I see is in front of me on the sidewalk. So I call out to him, and he turns around and he looks very flustered, very stressed, very worried. And he said that his two friends, for whatever reason, what I didn't mention was the boys were a little bit like sort of gangster looking, but still the conversation was really great. Like, it was just a look. So his two friends want to kill someone. They want to kill someone today, and decided to choose someone randomly off the street and terrorize them. And he was sent to find that person that this was going to happen to. So you can well imagine, even in my dream, I was like shocked at what, like, you're going to do what? Right? So I was very shocked. So about a block away, there was this huge building that was being built and renovated. And, all this construction was going on, but no one was there that day. And he didn't want me to be chosen by accident. So he asked me to go hide in the lobby of the building, which I reluctantly agreed to do. So this is all happening in the dream, and it was very lucid. So once inside this building, I realized that I'm the one that they've chosen to hunt and terrorize. And this tall building was a way to get me out of public so that they could hunt me at their leisure. So that's what was happening. And so you can imagine the fear was starting to rise in me, right? So it's like a bad movie, right? So I start to run. And in that moment, I started to remember in my dream all the suspense movies that I've ever watched about someone being chased. And all the times I used to yell at the TV and say, take off your damn shoes, they can hear you, or turn the volume down on your phone, or whatever. Like, you'd be yelling these things at the TV so that this person wouldn't be caught. So I decided to take my own advice, and I removed my shoes and put them down into my purse. And I don't know why I went into my purse and pulled out like pieces of my ID, like my driver's license and credit cards, and like shoved them in my pocket. And I call 911 on my phone, tell them quietly that I'm being hunted, where I am, that I can't talk, turn the volume off on my phone, but I put the phone in my pocket so they can track my GPS. I hide my bag, my purse, and I'm off to carry, because I didn't want to carry it around. So now I'm back in the suspense movies. You know how the people who are being chased are always like so full of fear, and they're like, I don't want to die, and I don't know where to hide, and they're making silly mistakes, and they're running and they're falling, and ultimately, they get killed. In many of these cases, ultimately they get killed. So I decided in that moment that that was not going to be me. And in that moment, I decided to turn the energy of fear into courage, and decided to turn the tables and to become the predator. Now, don't kid yourself. In that moment, when someone's afraid, when you step into your fear, when you step into doing something that makes you afraid, that doesn't mean you're not afraid anymore. What it means is that you are stepping into your courage despite your fear. You are stepping into your fear despite how you feel about it. You are going to do it anyway. So that's really what courage is. It's really stepping into your fear and moving forward despite your fear. So I mentioned earlier that this building was under construction. So I knew I had, all of that I just told you probably in my dream took a few moments, right? So I mentioned earlier that this building was under construction. So I knew that there had to be objects around that I could use. So I'm moving through and I can hear them in the hallway. So this is the part where it's like a movie, right? Like they're laughing, they're calling out my name, they're taunting me, all of that stuff, to raise the suspense and the scariness of the movie, and to raise my fear level. But instead, it's pissing me off. Like I'm getting angry about myself, angry about this. And I find myself in this state of anger. But it's a controlled anger. It's not a dramatic self-sabotaging anger, which we sometimes get into. So it's this controlled anger. So I don't know if you've ever read the book by Arun Gandhi, who is Gandhi's grandson, but it's a book called The Gift of Anger. And if you haven't read it, I highly suggest that you get this book and you read it. It's not a big, huge book, but it's got a powerful messages in it. So there's this metaphor that Gandhi speaks of in the book, and he says, take your anger and think of it like gas or fuel in your car and use it to do something good. So most of the time, we as humans like to take our anger, and do something bad with it, or we like to act like vigilantes or hurt people instead of taking that powerful energy and turning it into fuel or gas in our personal vehicle. And your body, you want your body to do something good with it so that it could, save lives and do positive things in the universe. So in this case, my body, I want this fuel, this fear, this anger, I want to turn it into fuel to save my life and bring these jokers who are preying on me to their knees. So that's where I'm at in my dream. So I begin searching quietly, floor by floor. Like, you remember the movie Home Alone? And there's this kid that sets up all these elaborate traps for these guys who are trying to do something. I can't remember if they're trying to kidnap the kid or do something, but they're trying to get this kid, and he's like setting up all these elaborate traps. So I too begin to set up some scenarios to slow them down, not quite as elaborate as this child sets up, but enough to slow them down. So I start grabbing paint cans that I find, and I'm spilling them by the doors so that they have to leave, but leaving enough room for me to scooch through undetected. And I pour, just so I can see where their footprints are going. And I pour glue on the stairs, and I laugh to myself while I'm doing this at the thought of the police coming later and having to walk through all these maze of annoyances that I've set up. So I keep working my way floor by floor, and I can hear them, these three kids that are, or young men, these gang boys who are trying to prey on me. And I can hear them finding all these little gifts that I've left for them. And for some reason, in this moment where I'm supposed to be scared, I'm in joy. I'm feeling joyful, and it's making me laugh, and it's turning into this game. It's like, catch me if you can, but not, but not if I catch you first, kind of a thing. So I know down deep inside somewhere in this, that this scenario is kill or be killed. And my hope was, in turn, that the stall tactic is more so that no one has to die, but I can stall them until the police arrive, right? So I don't want to go quietly, and I certainly, if this is my time to die in this building, and I can hear myself thinking this in my dream, and I'm like, if this is my time, if I'm destined, if this is my destiny, then so be it. But I'm not going to go quietly, and I'm not going to go from a place of fear and trauma. So these thoughts drive me to become even more creative. So my inner child or inner children, they're having a blast coming up with ideas, and I can't possibly do all the ideas, but I'm being inspired. So once I reach the top floor of this building that's under construction, I can see that this is the floor that all the workers have been currently working on. So there's equipment laying all over the place. So I feel like I've hit the mother lode of places and things that I can cause obstacles and annoyances for these people that are chasing me. And I just want to hold them up until help arrives. So I also thought, wait a minute, they can also use this stuff on me. So I quickly unplug all the power bars and throw them out the open window that they haven't put into the building yet, hoping that I didn't hit anyone on the way down. And I strategically plug in a few of them for myself, hiding power bars. Like, all of this is happening in my dreams. It was so lucid, it was driving me crazy. And I found a nail gun. So it was a big one, and it had lots of nails in it and lots of boxes of nails and a few hammers. And I felt ready because I knew they were so close. I could hear them like on the other side of the door, and they're mad. They're really mad now because of all the annoyances and the obstacles that I had put in their path. So I can hear the police sirens coming, and they're coming closer. So I knew it was a matter of time, but it would take them some time to get to me because we're on the top floor. So with this knowledge of all of this, I understand that, again, that if this is my destiny, and if this is what's meant to be, I was ready for them to come. And so they did. And as soon as they came in the door, I had put some more paint there. Oops. And I had no choice, no doubt that the police would be angry with me as well. So, which made me smile. And I began firing nails at them. And I realized that this might kill them. But at this point, it was them or me. And it wasn't going to be me. I somehow knew that I was going to walk away from this. So I fired at their faces. I'm sorry, I even fired at their private parts. And there I saw that there's 3 of them and only 1 of me. And I can only aim at 1 of them at a time. And help was coming, and I could hear them, but it was taking too long, and I was scared and determined. And it was driving me to be more powerful. So I was near the staircase going down, and decided to drop the nail gun and just go for it. And there was no way they could keep up with me because I hit them with all these nails. And I grabbed the 2 hammers and ran screaming down the stairs. So the police knew where I was. And I was yelling and running and stairs and just avoiding my own traps that I had set. And, much more of this kind of thing, this chaos happened until, they were caught by the police. So you're getting the picture. I woke up from this dream a few mornings ago with this epiphany that we allow our fear to paralyze us and stop us from making the best decisions for us. And so this dream, and I felt like it was like this huge aha moment for me, because normally if something like that was happening and you're being chased and you know that, you can't survive if they catch you, normally you would be in fear and making all kinds of mistakes and things. And I was just like, no, I won't, I'm going to turn this around. So by taking the fear and flipping it on its head and using it to drive us in a powerful and positive way that can actually empower us. Because in this time that where everything's changing, we are faced with a lot of fears. We are also faced with a lot of things that make us angry. Right? So there's so much going on in the world right now. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of us that are waking up and we're afraid of that too. And my answer to you is get mad. It's okay to become enraged. but you need to use this anger and this fear for good. Normally, what people do is they become vigilantes and they cause more hurt and more pain, and they start fighting against things and battling against things, and they think they're doing the right thing. But what that ends up happening is that only empowers that thing that we are mad or afraid of. So what I'm trying to say to you is when we battle against something, when we fight against something, it only empowers that thing. Right? I remember having this conversation with someone that I knew a long time ago, where they were so angry about the trafficking of children, and they were doing these battles and fights. And I said, that's not the way to do it, because you are actually empowering those people. You're sending them energy, which sounds unbelievable and counterproductive, but it's absolutely the truth. So what we focus on, where our focus goes, energy flows. So when we are battling against something, we are actually sending our energy to that thing because our focus is there. Okay, so we've all heard where focus goes, energy flows. That's the same thing. If we're fighting against something or battling something, our energy goes there as well. So it reminded me of a quote by Mother Teresa, well, a situation with Mother Teresa where she was asked to walk in a parade that was a battle, that was to battle war. And she said, I will never walk in a parade that battles war. But if you ever have a parade that is to empower peace, I will be there. So she wanted to make sure that her energy was heading in the right direction, that she was empowering peace. So when you get mad or you feel fear, just take a beat for a minute, take a breath. What do you want to empower? Our awareness is so important in this moment. Instead of just acting like helter-skelter and self-sabotaging, what is it that you are trying to empower? What outcome are you wanting or hoping for? And be open to all the possibilities of that happening, and use that fear and that anger, and imagine that you could, because fear and anger are powerful feelings, they're powerful emotions, right? So imagine that you could take all of that and turn it into fuel, right? And use that fuel, that powerful energy and anger, and aim it at a positive intention, a positive place, to empower an outcome that will be more contributive, that will be more positive for everyone involved, right? So we've been doing it so badly and so wrongly in our history. It's just, it's embarrassing. So it's really about understanding that, you know, if we can take all of that anger, if we can take all of that fear, if we can use it as fuel and send a positive intention and use it there, how much better off would we be actually helping everybody? So it's time to understand that each one of us is without limit, that each one of us is powerful, because we are actually not one of us. We are one, but not individual one. And that you can do anything that you set your mind to, and that you can release the old commitments that you can't, or that you're not good enough, or it's outside your reach, because those are lies. Those are lies. I don't know that anyone intentionally meant to lie to you, but those are lies. And I'm going to say it again. Those are lies. They're lies. They're flat out untrue lies. And you can do anything, and you can be anything, and you can help anyone. And you are all, each one of us is a thought, is created by the Creator. And you know, there's things in the Bible that says that we were made by, in all of the religious texts, that we are made in the Creator's image. Well, if we're made in the Creator's image, then you understand how powerful we are, right? Because we are part of the Creator. We can't say things like that and preach things like that and then not understand what we're saying. We are in the image of the Creator because we are from the Creator. That means that we are without limit. that we can be and do anything if we put that in the right place, right? So don't try, don't hope, don't pray to be able to do it. Just be it, right? Because you can, right? There's this saying that I will get to that in a second, Joyanne. There's this saying that says, if you think you can't, then you're right. Right? It's true. If you think that you can't, then you're absolutely right. Because whatever you believe to be true is true. So how about you change your beliefs? How about you change the commitments that you have to yourself, right? And that's really what I wanted to share with you today. Now I'm looking at what Joyanne's joining us from Facebook, and I'm just seeing her. And hi, Joyanne, I love you to pieces. I haven't talked to you for so long. And politics is a severe illness, right? And she's right. It's a severe it's an illness. Politics is an illness. I've never heard of that sentence, but I love it. I love that. It is. It's an illness, and it has lots of fear, and it's consumed lots of people, consumed lots of people. It's people trying to hold on to power by using fear, right? So when we give into that fear, we empower them. When we give into that fear, when we stand in it, when we let them allow us to feel afraid, because they don't make us afraid. That's a choice that we make. We choose to be afraid. So when we choose to be afraid, then we're empowering the person who is trying to make us afraid, right? So that's not what we want to do, right? That's not what you want to do. That's not the outcome that you want, right? And you need to understand what's true for you, right? Not what's true for your ego, that voice in your head that's always afraid, right? What's true for you. Start connecting to your consciousness and awareness. Take a beat. Always take a beat. Pause for a second. Just pause. We forget to pause in this fast-moving world. Pause. And where do I want to send my energy? What do I want to do, and how do I want to do it? And how can I do it in the most positive way? How can I do it in the most positive way that will contribute to as many as possible? Not just one person, not just you, right? It's not just about you, right? You know, we need to really let go of that mentality, because we're not separate from each other. So it's not all about you or any yous. And I'm just talking to whoever's listening. It's not about you. So it's about all of us. So when it's something this big, when we're not talking about which shoes you want to wear today. We're talking about big decisions. We're talking about, am I going to be afraid of this? Right? Am I going to feed this fear? Am I going to feed it? Right? And then use that fear, that anger that you have in you because of it, as fuel for something positive. Okay? So it is an illness, and sometimes, yes, we have to sit in our cocoon. I've done that lots of times. I'll go sit in my space. That's my personal space. And because I have to be true to myself without all the noise from the outside. I have to be true to myself without the noise from the outside, with everybody telling me how I should think and how I should feel, and I should be afraid of this. And didn't you hear what was happening over there? And don't you understand what's happening at that end of them? You should be afraid of this. And should I really? Me being afraid of this, what is that going to do for anyone? Right? Me being afraid of this, what is that going to do for anyone? Right? So when you look at, we think of someone like Dr. Wayne Dyer, who said, feeling bad about something isn't going to change anything. But when you feel good and you send out positive energy, that's when we change things. When we feel bad, we just feed it. We just feed it. Right? So it's about making some personal decisions now, personal, individual, and yet cohesive decisions now. That's where we're stepping into. Are my decisions that I'm making, how is that going to affect everybody? If we're all sitting around and there's 100 people in a room and 100 people are scared of the same thing, what does that do? It empowers that thing. So instead of sitting in the space of, and I'm going to use a word here, prey and predator, if we go back to my dream, I decided not to be the prey and to step in the space of predator, right? But predator in a way of still everything coming out okay, nobody dying, right? So like, nobody coming out in a bad space. So I mean, it's destiny is destiny. But if I had stayed in the space of prey, I probably would have been killed in my dream or caught or whatever. It would not have worked out well. I decided to be the predator. I decided to walk in a space of, I got this. I got this. Right? And had I stepped into that before I stepped into the building, I probably wouldn't have stepped into the building. I would have said, yeah, deal with your shit. And, that's not a really good idea, and moved on, grabbed a cup of coffee and went to work. Right. So, it's about, I wouldn't have fed into it. I fed into the fear at the beginning. Right. So what is it that we need to do? Because what we're doing isn't working. How we're responding to the people who want to bring fear into our lives isn't working. And is all the information that we're getting true? See, that's another thing, right? We hear about what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. I'm not going to get political here, but it's been going on for a long time, right? And do we really know the truth around it? We don't. It's been going on for 8 years. They talk about it like it's something brand new, right? Do we really know the truth around it? No. Or do we just listen to the people who want us to think a certain thing, right? So our lives are full of lies. Our lives are full of lies, loaded with lies. And so we need to sort of sift through the lies and still find a positive truth. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I said, because if it was easy, we'd be doing it already. So it's about refocusing ourselves and understanding who and what we are and how much power we actually have, which is unlimited, guys, unlimited. I've got Dave here. He's on audio only, which is great. Dave, do you want to add anything in here? Are you still with me? No. Okay. So that's really what I want to talk to you about today, guys. I hope that gave you an aha moment, just one way of thinking about something a little bit differently. And I'm going to be coming on every Sunday morning. And he's got a new message here. What's that saying? It's okay. So I'll be coming on every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock with just a short aha moment, just something for you to think about. I'm not here to preach something new for you. What I'm trying to do is connect to things that you probably already deep down know. There's some part of you that already knows these things. And my job, I think, my purpose is to hopefully help you to reconnect to those things inside you, and on a very conscious and aware level. And, you're not disconnected from them because you know everything already. I can't tell you something that you don't already know. You guys already all know this. Deep down inside, everything I say, you know. You just don't know, And it's about bringing that to the surface, to your consciousness and awareness, bringing it from the levels way down here to way up here, so where you can see it and focus on it. So that's what I'll be doing every Sunday morning. And then please do feel free to join our free community, IAUSM.com. It's IAUSM.com, where we have several mentors who are here to help you to be able to step into your own inner wisdom, not tell you what to think, not tell you how to act, none of that, but to help you, to guide you into your own space, to guide you into what's true for you, to guide you into your own remembering and reclaiming your own mastery, because you are the healer. We're just going to help you get there, right? And that's what we do. So please do join the community. And I look forward to talking to you guys all next Sunday again. Big love. Thanks for joining in, Dave. And thanks for joining in, Joanne. And please do share your comments and your questions. and feel free to message me anytime. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Thank you.